this is Richard Lynch, and I am here with author Ber Collins, and we're here to talk about her book, Every Mom Has Magic Kisses. Hi Ber, how are you doing?
I'm good, Richard.
Good.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. I just wanted to talk to you, Ber. I read your book. I loved your book. I thought it was amazing, and it comes from a real place of love. Why did you write this book? I know it all stems from your childhood. Can you tell me about your childhood?
Well, I grew up, Richard, in I suppose what would be described as a very respectable home, a very religious home, one where we went to Mass every Sunday, we said the rosary every night. Every time you left the house you were sprinkled with holy water, and I was a real kind of mischievous kind of child, always really happy, always really singing, loved attention, loved getting noticed and that kind of thing. And then when I was 8 years old, I was sexually abused by my dad. And this continued on until I was 14. And it was really, as you can imagine, it was a really difficult time in my life. And it was a time when I was very, very torn between the natural love I had for my dad and the fear and the upset that the abuse caused. At the same time, as being abused at home, I was being bullied at school. I suppose I was in a very vulnerable place because of what was happening at home, and so I was kind of probably a ripe target. And so I've been verbally abused as well as beaten up, physically abused at school as well.
Did you tell anybody?
It's a good question, because growing up and when the abuse was happening, I suppose I still don't understand fully why I didn't tell anybody, except that I know I was told that if I did, he would die. That's what he told me. And so I kept my mouth shut. Until one day when I was walking home from school, I plucked up the courage to go into a church and into a confessional and tell a priest what was going on, and was this okay, as my dad was telling me. It was the safest place to do it, I suppose, because I felt safe in a confessional. And that day the priest told me that I didn't know what I was talking about and that I was being silly and to go away.
Wow.
And so I didn't speak to anybody ever again about it until a long time later.
And how did it stop when you were 14? Why did it stop?
Basically one night I plucked up the courage to tell him to F off, and he did. It was a word that wasn't used in our house, and I think he was shocked, and he did, and it just ended once I got the courage to tell him to stop.
So this must have affected all your relationships, your life, everything moving forward. I mean,
it's funny, I remember being very resilient. I'm very strong. I've discovered that I'm a very, very strong woman, and back then I had a strength inside me to be able to push all those negative feelings aside and get on with my life. And all through my childhood I remember holding on to a very strong dream that I had for my own family in the future. And I used to dream about the kind of family I'd have I was going to have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and I was going to create a home filled with love and happiness for them. And that's what kept me going. And
so you wrote this book because you wanted to share this happiness with other people, basically.
Yeah, there's a few aspects actually to the book, Richard. There's one aspect where I tell the story of how at 32 all the memories from my past came back to haunt me. And I entered a very dark place in my life where I was overcome with grief and sadness from my last childhood. I was very, very angry, I was very stressed, I was very overwhelmed, and finding it really difficult to be the mum that I wanted to be to my kids. And it tells the story and the journey of how I went from that dark place to being the woman I am today, supporting other people on their journey back to happiness.
Because that's what you do for a living, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, I do. So I guide and I motivate and I inspire women to heal and let go of whatever is getting in the way of them being the mum that they want to be. And I do that through my workshops, through my one-to-one sessions, through my trainings, And also my website, you can sign up for free tips and advice that I send out in a newsletter and that.
So the book basically, even though it has its foundation in something really, really sad, it's not a sad book.
Oh no.
It's
No.
really about kind of, and it doesn't dictate to people how to be a parent. It's more like you sharing your experience and your knowledge of how you overcame your trials and tribulations to be a better mum.
Exactly. There's it's full of practical tips and advice for parents, gleaned from my own experiences being a parent, and it really encourages parents to trust their own gut when it comes to raising their kids, because nobody knows your kids like you know them. And it encourages parents to just trust that and to ignore what the media says you should be doing, ignoring what your friends, your relations, your parents are telling you about being a parent. Just trust yourself because you know best. And the main thing that the book is about is it's about the power of love, because as I filled my heart with love for my kids, my heart had no choice but to heal. And that was a miracle that happened that I never expected.
Wow. And so this book, you were just compelled to write it. It kind of came out of you. Like, tell me about that. Because you self-published this book.
I did.
You've paid to put this book out in the world yourself. Like, you've been that passionate about it.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that whole experience of writing the book.
So it's crazy because at school I would never have been one for writing. I would never been one for writing blogs or poetry or anything like the way other writers are. And yet something was nagging me to write this down and share this journey of healing with other people, because there are so many sad stories written. There are so many sad books written about experiences like mine, and I really felt the need to share this journey. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be all about being sad and your life ruined as a result of these experiences. And so this nagging just wouldn't go away. It just was
Or
there.
your position as a mother being ruined because of these experiences, more
Exactly.
importantly.
Yeah, that you have what it takes inside you to be the mum you want to be. Everyone does. We all have what it takes, and very often it comes down to just making a decision to want something different. And when you make that decision, you can reach out and you can ask for help, and the help is there. And I'm always amazed, or my clients are always amazed at just how quickly they can heal and let go of the past and move into the future and be happy and create the homes filled with love and happiness that they want to create for their kids.
Talk to me about you. When I read all about you and I look at your website, you talk about releasing your magic. What's releasing your magic?
I think everybody has a little spark inside them that is just dulled by life experiences, that gets...
It's kind of like kicks it out of you, doesn't
exactly,
it? Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that with just a little bit of help, a kind of a flame can be ignited underneath that spark, and people have magic inside them just waiting to be released.
So we're all here together today. It's all about releasing your magic.
Exactly.
This is Ber Collins. Her book, Every Mama's Magic Kisses, is available now in O'Mahony's bookstore on O'Connell Street, and it's available on Amazon, and it's available on Kindle. And I would recommend everyone out there to have a good look at this book. It'll teach you wonderful things about life, but most importantly about why every mom has magic kisses. Thanks, Ber Collins.
Thank you.